Okay, this is J.R. Hendrick, and before we go to introductions, I found me a little patriotic ditty by a German metal band.
We all live in America, America, America. We all live in America.
Welcome to the Strenuous Life Radio, the podcast for men and women, leaders, entrepreneurs, and leaderpreneurs desiring to know the specialties and soft skills of the strenuous life.
Hello, everybody. I'm J.R. Hendrick, and I just gotta say, patriotism is important. The strenuous Minecraft. This is what's being called again, Phase 2. We're coming around the bend almost to the season finale, and Jimmy's asked me to take over for this episode and the finale. Now, we're going to be interviewing Jimmy, and I want to ask him some questions. Jimmy, what do you think is a strenuous Minecraft? What have we learned from, say, the past 10, 11 episodes? Well, it's pretty interesting, JR. It's pretty interesting. We are learning tools that we can use to have a good mindset. I think what's awesome is that we learned about how to have a closer and better daily walk with the Lord. We've obviously talked about mentorship. You know, I had some fine mentorship in college. I had Dr. Redding that taught me constitutional law. He was kind of a communications and a political science professor up at Texas Tech University. And then in law school, I had a variety of professors. There was Dr. Lee that taught me civil procedure. There was Dr. Moore who taught me property contracts. Dr. Levy who taught me torts. And Dr. Emmel who taught me constitutional law. I had so many mentors. A lot of the law professors thought I was cool. But now, you go into my law school, most of law schools are 3 years, mine was divided into 4. By the time of the second year, I had some professors that disagreed with my approach to the law. And it especially became so that the next to last year, but by the last year, I had some pretty cool professors. And then I had some, my daddy was one of the biggest mentors in the business. And then I came along. I built my empire. I kind of had mentors from afar. Dan Clark and Brandon Bouchard. Now, Jimmy, the confidence thing. You've been in a slump lately, no doubt, and that's why I've been taking over some of these episodes. What has helped you? Emotional intelligence and authenticity is very important. It's very key. You and I have a stance. It's almost like you taught me this, JR, where you kind of sit up straight and kind of push your shoulders back, your head up, kind of a yee-haw. We're both Texans. And so that's been no doubt important. Now, I want to go on to mentoring and coaching. Now, Jamie and I have the same opinion about mentoring and coaching in that the mentor is unpaid. So many people think they're giving sage advice by saying pay for a mentor. Okay, maybe if you got the big bucks to shell out. But most people, when they're starting out, they don't. Okay? They don't. You paying somebody, you paying a coach. You paying a coach, that's just common sense. Okay? And I think Jimmy picked some wise, Simon Sinek on mentorship, Dr. Paul Jenkins on coaching. Yeah, that is something that I think gets confused in the world of entrepreneurship and personal development. Now, I've talked to you about loneliness, a variety of things. I've taken over. Toward the tail end of JR's slump, I took over a little bit to do a whole episode. Now, JR, how important is exercise? How important is exercise to have this discovery for the Strenuous life? Exercise is key. I tell you something. It seems like this month I have learned new ways and new ideas on how to exercise. I was limited until Bishop Dave. Now, I don't think you know him, JR. Bishop Dave has stated how important exercise is, and so that's been a major thing that's been, how do I say it, helpful. Very helpful. Now, Jimmy, when we're talking about strenuous psychology, let me ask you something. What do you think is keeping people from having the proper psychology to live a strenuous life? Well, I talk about it on Empower Your Pattern, and I'll say this here. And I know it may be controversial to some people. I'm a Latter-day Saint. I'm a diehard Christian. And a lot of our negative thoughts are created by minions of Satan. These little critters from hell. I'm not talking about the critters on earth, the natural ones. I'm talking about the spiritual ones that they know people that are on assignment, they're gifted from God. And they follow us around, and they try to dump things on us. And they say, hey, we're going to stay here, and, if you think you can surpass us, but we're just going to keep trying to dump on us, on you until you deal with us. So, see, that's the problem. We got bad psychology, thanks to our smartphones, social media, and some degrees music. I used to enjoy country music, but I don't even listen to country radio that much anymore. I let my future wife pick my music. Very brilliant, Jared. Now, I also talked about daily routine. Give us an idea, Jimmy, about your ideal morning routine. Okay, I get up at 4:30 every morning. Yeah, I know the alarms are annoying. I don't want to get out of bed. I make it to where my phone is somewhere else in the room. Not in the bed with me, because I notice when the phone's in the bed with me, it's kind of like click. I hit snooze. Most likely I turn it off. I don't hit snooze. I turn it off. Because, I used to believe in the snooze when I was in my 20s. By the time I was in my 40s, I was like, no. It's a waste of time. And then of course, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, because you get them alerts early in the morning. That kind of screws with your morning routine. And then I get a glass of water, something to drink. Try to remember to take my medicine. At 5 a.m., I go into what's known as an hour of power. 20 minutes of prayer, 20 minutes of reading. You and I are on the same reading plan in the mornings, JR. At 5 in the morning, James E. Talmage's Jesus the Christ. And then after that, 20 minutes of exercise. And so that's important. And then after that, usually around 7, unless I decide to do it early, I go ahead and have some time doing scripture study and listen to the teachings of the church. And so that's something else that's key too. So, now, you said you wanted to cover loneliness, and we haven't. What's some of your best ways to do that? You need to be proactive and find ways to socialize, even if in some ways you're in some online groups. I know in Midland, Odessa, in the rural areas, there aren't very much access to public transportation. And I know some people, because of that, have asked me to consider, maybe moving to another town, like going to Texas Tech Law School. JR, what do you think? Well, I think that's a brilliant idea, but, your budget, it's kind of like room and board. But you get good mentors and everything. The fact of the matter is, the strenuous Minecraft is for you to discover. If you have people do it for you, that's no adventure at all. Alright? The next episode, I'm going to be talking about adventure, okay? I'm going to be talking about adventure, and it's important that you begin to understand this. Now, I hope you enjoyed listening to the Strenuous Life Radio. And like Jimmy and I say, if you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the Strenuous Life Radio community. That's it for JR. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time. Don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. Do what others don't so you can have what others can't. Think strong, live strong, and live the strenuous life. God bless you.